I have never denied my background or my culture. I have taught my child to embrace her Mexican heritage, to love my first language, Spanish, to learn about Mexican history, music, folk art, food, and even the Mexican candy I grew up with. Why did I decide to start my time with this quote from Soma? Well, simply because she went elsewhere to fulfill her dreams. And that might seem alright, and maybe even dubious, but why couldn't she do it in her own country? So what's the problem? As we grow older, we start considering moving to other countries, or we just say, why wasn't I born here or here? We take for granted what surrounds us, and by doing so, we end up being indifferent to it. We were born Mexican, a really strong word that I'm happy to call myself, Mexican. Mexico is a country full of diversity, from this to this, and also this, to its people, its culture, and many other wonders that we as Mexicans have. But Mexico is also this, and this, and sadly this. This is what makes us dream being in another place. But let us focus first on the great things that our country has. It is one of the most diverse countries in the world. Mexico biodiversity is fantastic. There are so many different species of fauna and flora to be found within our territory. There is also a wide ethnic diversity as well as culture and food. Mexico is said to be home to 10% of the world's biodiversity, home to jaguars, pumas, sea turtles, monkeys and parrots, and many other more animals. And obviously, this richness and wealth make us take these wonders for granted. Octavio Paz said, "The Mexican is familiar with death. He jokes about it, caresses it, sleeps with it, celebrates it. It is one of his favorite toys and his most steadfast love." We celebrate the Day of the Dead, a Mexican tradition filled with colors and feelings, when we honor the ones that are no longer with us. We also have the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, a major Mexican holiday that represents the main religion in the country, followed by Posadas and Three Wise Men Day. Mexican celebrations that makes us who we are and represent our past, strength, and commitment. Authentic Mexican food is vibrant, delicious, fresh, and fun. Everywhere you go in Mexico, a traditional dish from the place will be there waiting for you, such as tacos, enchiladas, burritos, sopes, barbacoa, and tortas ahogadas. Mexican cuisine is so important that it was declared human patrimony. One of the 7 wonders of the world is located in Mexico. Over 2.6 million tourists visit it per year. This represents the beauty and richness that our country has. Also the history of our ancestors. Some of them were called gods. Mexico's wealth and diversity comprehends 68 official languages. Some of them are Mixtecan, Maya, and Nahuatl. The scope that our country can have is amazing if we take a look of how many people and variety we have. Mexicans have the longest average working hours in the world. Mexicans work 43 hours on average per person. That makes it 2,255 hours per year. So we are so far from the cliché of the indigenous leaning against a cactus. As we can see, we are hardworking people that are committed to what they do and work hard to get where they want to. So after seeing all the greatness that we have, do we still want to go elsewhere? What I would love to do is to embrace it. Embrace being Mexican. And as we do it, so we must love our country. And what does a person in love does? What does a mother does for her kids? She takes care of them. We need to take care of our country. But where do we start? On the past days, there was a problem of contingency. The air in Mexico City was described as unhealthy at levels of 166. On terms of safety and security, 73.7% of the overall population considers that living in its city is unsafe. On 2017, there were 32,079 homicides registered in the whole country. I don't know if all of you have seen in the news the problem of sarcasm. This is not exactly a problem caused by humans, but very deep down it is. This is related to the climate change. We are not realizing that our actions are not affecting our surroundings. This problem used to be normal, but now the quantities are overpassing what they used to deal with. So we must take action. How? Well, here are some examples of what other countries are doing. Sweden is turning its waste into gold, such as the Sweden Waste Disposal, that is aimed for a zero-waste society. Home and business owners filter their waste into hazardous wastes and recycling material, which then are sent to waste management systems like recycling and incinerators. By not wasting its waste and recycling 99% of it, Sweden is on its way to achieving a zero-waste society and sustainable energy by 2020. Belgium is a country committed to the European Union target to cut 20% of the carbon emission levels by 2020. And Malta made a shift towards solar power and gas-fired plants. And the list could go on, but Mexico is missing. So what can we Mexicans do to help the environment? We are a country that, as we've already seen and experienced, has a lot of greatness among its people and biodiversity. We need to save the beauty of Mexico and of the world. We have a background that supports us, that represents that we are able to change something for good. that we are able to leave a mark and a good one. But we must all change something in our lives. What will we Mexicans do in order to protect our country, to preserve its beauty? We also have a strong responsibility in here. We must stop the Mexican mind of running away from the country. And there are simple ways of doing this, through caring for our environment. And this will go to our children and grandchildren. They will grow up in a beautiful country that they will love to live in, and they will not think of moving away, because they will have it all in here, as we already have, but we don't see it if we don't take care of it. Let's take actions on our actions. Every single thing that we do, even if it is the smallest one, can help. Don't throw the garbage on the street. If you happen to see one, pick it up and dump it where it should go. Reuse. Instead of buying a bottle of water per day, let's make it a thing to bring our thermos for our water and coffee. Ride a bike to work if you are able to. Choose organic. Buy organic fruits and vegetables. There's a really great plus in here, because there are tons of natural beauty products that are way much better for our health. And let's make a shift towards solar power plants. This can help reduce the amount of electricity consumed every day. An action a day can help to change the current situation of our world. Let's love what we have. Let's take care of it before it is too late and there's nothing to care for anymore.